featuring the best bowlers from around the region. Candlepin Stars and Strikes. And now your hosts, Dick Lutsk and Mike Morin.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome into another edition of Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS-TV from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Dick Lutsk with Mike Morin. We have reached the top of the ladder, and we got a great match for you today.
All right, here's the question. What do Gary Carrington and Shawn Baker both have in common?
I give up.
They both lost to Jeff Surratt in the last ladder series, and one of them's not going to win today, so it's going to be a tough day for one of them.
One of them will be in the Tournament of Champions at the end of the year as we've reached the top of our 5th ladder series. And let's meet our participants this afternoon. Our number 3 seed winner last week by a score of 392 to 357 over Anthony Pastore from Lynn, Massachusetts. Let's welcome Shawn Baker.
Shawn Baker averaging 130, high single 213, 484 is his best triple. Bowls at Lucky Strike Lanes in Lynn and on the Friday Night Traveling Pro League.
Shawn had a 666 in the roll-off to win the number 3 seed, a 411 in his first match win over Ed Woodside, and a 392 last week in his win over Anthony Pastore. He'll be taking on the number 1 seed from Plaistow, New Hampshire. Let's say hello to Gary Carrington.
Gary Carrington was 683 this time. Top seed, he had 683 last time. He was the 5th seed. Average 132, high single 196. His high triple is 499. And he bowls at Park Place in Wyndham and is also on the Friday Night Traveling Pro League with teammate Shawn Baker.
$1,500 to the winner, $1,000 to the runner-up. The winner advances to the Tournament of Champions. Let's get right to it. It's Gary Carrington and Shawn Baker when we return to Leda Lanes for Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS-TV right after this. Well, we began with 5 great bowlers, and we're down to 2 as Shawn Baker meets Gary Carrington for the championship. First week, Ed Woodside beat Mike Morgan. It was 412 for Woodside, 373 for Morgan. Then it was Shawn Baker beating Ed Woodside, 411 to 396. Last week, Baker downing Pastore, 392 to 357, setting up this afternoon's match between Shawn Baker and Gary Carrington, with the winner moving on to the Tournament of Champions at the end of the season. Shawn Baker will start us off at Leda Lanes in Nashua. This should be a great one.
Imagine what kind of team these guys must have. They bowl together on the same one, the Traveling Pro League.
Right on the head pin and right through.
You may hear some extraneous talk or conversation. I heard Gary Carrington say, "That ain't a pretty one." We have a microphone set up at the scorer's table where the bowler sits, so you may hear some occasional verbiage. That's where it's coming from.
Shawn starts with an 8 box. They know each other well.
Oh, yeah. Averages are very close, just 2 pins apart. Gary Carrington, 130. Shawn Baker, 132, or actually the other way around.
Right on the head pin, full again. It's a game of inches. Finding the head pin is one thing, but keeping it just off center is another. Will he get it? Yeah, Shawn will get the bounce. Wow. What a great spare for Shawn Baker. He had the 3-6-10 on the right, the 4 and the 8 on the left, and the 4 pin waiting, and there it goes. Gary Babe Carrington. Right on the head pin.
Run it down, babe. Run it down, babe.
Gary's 44 years old. He's been bowling for a long time. 30-plus years, and he starts off with a spare.
Oh, boy.
You can hear words of encouragement from Shawn Baker to his teammate. It's just natural, even though they're bowling for a good sum of money against each other. Still, you'll pick it up, you know, give it a shot. Teammates to the end.
As we've heard for the past couple of weeks, there's no defense in this league. It's what you do against what the other guy does. So you root for the other guy, and then you just go out and try and do him better.
Exactly.
Nice spare for Gary Carrington. 2 great spares for Gary. So Gary will have a shot at some bonus money when he steps to the line. That was not an easy shot. The 1, the 2, the 9, and the 10. It was the 10 that kicked off the wall and came back to take out the 9. Shawn Baker missed the head pin. 4 horsemen right side. 6 in the mark. Wow, the 10 pin still stands. Shawn thought he had it. We'll get to some of your emails that we've been stacking up since our last taping. That'll be a 9 box for Shawn.
So we're to the point now where we're actually getting more email than the traditional or snail mail, as it's called.
A lot of emails. It's a good pocket shot by Shawn right there. Right onto the Brooklyn side, and down they go. It was the 9 pin that was the last to go. Some of the emails cover territory that's been covered previously. I'll acknowledge them by just mentioning their names. Here's Gary Carrington, and he's looking for some bonus money. That's the 7 pin that's still standing, and it's surrounded by a couple of pieces of wood. Not sure that that piece of wood out front is in a good position to help him out. He just took it all the way.
Didn't even use the wood.
Hold up, yeah.
$50 in bonus money for Gary Carrington.
Bit of a double dribble, or as they call it, skip lob at the line. So it takes a little something off the ball, picking up only 6, leaving the diamond to 2, 4, 5, and 8.
Here it is.
Still perfect.
The shot maker makes shots. 4 marks in a row, $75 in bonus money, and $25 for each additional. So we have Rich Murphy from Boxford, Massachusetts. We received your email. Thank you very much. Bunny from Pepperell, Massachusetts. We received your email and appreciate the fact that you watch Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Shawn, very thin hit. About as thin as you can get. He scratched his head. What a leave that is. That's the 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Wow, everything but the 6.
That was a good fill for a strike, considering what he had to work with.
Yeah, it
there.
was. But that was a strange leave. I don't remember seeing that one before. That's a 10 box.
That's a testament to these bowlers. It seems no matter what they leave, they can very often make a 10 box out of it if it's not a spare leave.
Will it go? Will it fall? It will fall backwards. Got a note from Dave, Dan, and Drew, an email. They didn't put their last name, but that's okay. We watch Candlepin Stars and Strikes every weekend. In fact, we enjoy watching so much that we even attended a taping. That was nice. Unfortunately, we were unable to find any Candlepin Stars and Strikes merchandise while we were there. Is there any way we can get those great polo shirts or other memorabilia? Yes, there is. You can buy those polo shirts when you come to Leda Lanes. Just stop into the office. They'll be happy to fit you right up. You can walk out wearing a red or a blue WNDS TV Candlepin Stars and Strikes bowling shirt of your very own. Here's a shot by Gary Carrington. He is on fire. 5 marks in a row to start out. Watch it again, Brooklyn side.
Keep in mind that not only do you want to win today, you want a high score for good seeding in the Tournament of Champions. Right now, the score to beat to get on top is 407 from Jeff Surratt. He did that a month ago.
Gary Carrington, 5 marks in a row to start. Bounced that one down, a little skip hop. Got another spare opportunity here.
Well, Ed Woodside began with 6 marks in a row 3 weeks ago.
On his way to a 166 string.
That's it. High string today is another $50, another form of bonus money for our competitors.
Well, Gary missed that one. That one got away from him. So the streak of marks ends at 5. The voice you're hearing is the voice of Shawn Baker rooting him on.
Interesting to hear that, because these guys are our competitors. Yet they're on the same team, so it's just natural to be supportive of your teammate no matter what. And it's not gratuitous. I think it's genuine. So finally, Shawn Baker's got a chance to get some pins back. He hasn't been able to do that.
Well, he's not bowling too badly himself.
No, he's not. That's not good.
Well, he's got a piece of wood there that gives him a shot to make this shot. He's going to play that wood on the left and try to sweep the 5-pin into the cluster of the 6, 9, and 10.
Yeah, it's pretty far back, though. It's going to be a stretch.
No, he didn't even play it. I thought he would. $10.
So it's 88 through 7 for Shawn Baker. Still within striking distance of Gary Carrington, who got off with 5 straight marks to begin.
A shot by Shawn.
Every other.
Watch it again. There's the 5-pin. Doesn't look like it's going, does it? But it gets tripped.
Shawn saying every other, as it indicate, every other frame, he's had a mark.
Gary Carrington on lane 34. Gary leaves a tough shot. That's the 9 and the 10. Gary wants that wood to stay on the lane.
No dice.
Does not.
This is probably as talky as our bowlers have been, Dick.
Yep.
We've put microphones up there now for the last 7 or 8 weeks.
Could be because they know each other so well.
Yeah, I think so.
Gary will be
We
open.
won here.
Mike Travers sent us an email, Mike. He mentioned the high-low jack, which we've discussed in the past, but he's curious as to the spacing of the pins, how much space is between them.
All right, baby.
I'll get you the exact number here in just a moment. Pull out the official Candlepin Bowling Rules and Regulations book. Somewhere about 1 foot to 15 inches, but I will see if I can get that exact number for you here.
Oh, look at, they all start to cave in, but one still stands. That's the 3-pin. And the mark for Gary Carrington. So he puts a mark up against the strike thrown by Shawn Baker. 20-pin lead for Carrington over Baker. Both bowlers working on marks. There's a lot more space between the pins than you realize, just looking at it from this distance. That's a good shot by Shawn, and here they go. Well, friends, just like that, we are looking at a $675 shot coming up for Shawn Baker for the triple strike jackpot. $675 you can watch right now. There it goes!
Baker, you got a 4th one in there?
$675 for Shawn Baker. It looked like the 6-pin was going to resist, but finally it was persuaded. Now for another 500 for Shawn.
All right, we've never had more than 4 in a row.
So another 500.
Do it again.
Can he do it one more time? Right on the head pin. And he finishes strongly.
$1,175.
$1,175. A 168 string. Is that not correct? Is
He got a, what, a 7 on that last fill?
yes.
7.
175 string for Shawn Baker. Wow.
Should he go on to win today, he's got a great start for seeding in the Tournament of Champions, but we've got a long way to go. Gary Carrington will have a lot to say about that.
Oh, here go. All right, now another, baby. Half on the pit.
$1,175 in bonus money for Shawn. Now Gary tries to...
Come on, babe. Come on now. Come on, get that stick. Get back in. Come on.
Shawn's getting even more
to get him back in.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Right back here, huh? Throw the triple yourself right here. Come on. Get back in it. Throw that bomb.
So Gary's at 136. He's going to have a 140 something, unless he could have a 150
with the mark,
still trail by 25 pins.
So he's definitely still in the ball game, and Shawn Baker has just made $1,175.
That's a good first ball by Gary, and a spare opportunity here.
So we're back at $500.
And the mark for Gary Carrington.
Come on, throw the
So
bomb.
he's at 146.
Throw the bomb right here.
That's exciting, huh?
It really is. Got a standing ovation from the crowd. That was great.
Gary Carrington finishes with an 8 in the spare and a 154 first string for Gary Carrington. Not too shabby. And he trails by 21 pins after one to Shawn Baker's 175. But the story of the first string, 4 strikes in a row for Shawn Baker and $1,175 in bonus money. String number 2 straight ahead when we return to Leda Lanes for Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Gary Carrington will start string number 2. He trails by 21 pins to Shawn Baker, who rolled a 175 in the first string.
Come on, sit around there. There you go, babe.
Some good wood there for a difficult spare.
It was a 113 second half for Shawn Baker.
Man.
Well, Gary gave it the body English. You saw his body coming in front of the camera right there. Not able to convert the spare. And a 10 box.
It's a $1,500 first prize payday for our winner, $1,000 for the runner-up. Both these men will be well paid for today, but one moves on to the Tournament of Champions. It'll be our 5th bowler out of 6 seedings, and they're both off to such good starts that either one is very likely to be in the top seed, because 407 right now by Jeff Surratt is number 1.
Well, that one skipped down the lane, and the 4 horsemen on the right side and the 7 pin in the left corner for Gary Carrington.
Both these bowlers were casualties of Jeff Surratt in the last ladder series. Shawn Baker by just a pin in the championship round, 407 to 406.
That's going to be a 6 box for Gary. So he's lost his edge for the moment, but he'll get it back. He put 5 marks together to start the first string, and Shawn closed the first string with 4 strikes in a row. And he starts the second string with a strike.
Wow. 5 of his last 6 boxes have been strikes.
He's been unbelievable.
Man. Crowd wants him to do it again.
Sure. Why not? He threw a good first ball. He was right there. And the mark. So Shawn is really on fire. He picks up the second string where he left off the first string with marks.
This may be the only 4 strike in a row performance we've seen in almost 7 seasons, Dick.
As far as I can recall.
Yeah, me too, because we had that email you read a couple of weeks ago, has there ever been 4 or 5 in a row, and we didn't think we had seen more than 3.
Babe's looking at a tough shot right here. 5, 7, and 8. He took just the 5 pin. The wood was not in a good situation for him. So he's open through the first 3. We we ever find out, did we ever answer that question on the spacing of the pins? If we did, I missed it.
I looked through the book and I don't see it immediately. They give the dimensions of the pins and the size. They don't mention the spacing. It may be in here somewhere. We'll have to look that up for a future broadcast. I should know off the top of my head. I just don't recall exactly.
Come on, take it out.
Oh, Gary threw a great first ball, but he's
Hang around.
leaving the split. It's a 6-7 split with a piece of wood around the 6-pin. And that's the wood he's got to play. He's got to play the very right tip of that wood, try to keep it on the lane, but as far to the right as he can, but still keeping it on the lane. Well, he tried to bounce it. Well, he knows better than I. He had a better shot at it than I gave him.
You think he intended to do it the way he did?
He sure looked like he knew what he was doing. That will be a 9.
He waves it
box.
off.
Yep.
Yep. So Carrington goes cold, and Shawn Baker is still on fire. A 34 through 4 for Gary Carrington. Shawn Baker starting this game with 2 marks.
Looking for more bonus money now. He doesn't want to mess around with those little $50 bonus money checks.
Yeah, right.
He's got a $675 and a $500. This is a $50 shot right here. He's got it. So more bonus money for Shawn. And 3 marks in a row, and he starts to pull away from Gary Carrington. Another pocket shot. Same leave. 5-9. The wood in front of the 9. Got it. Don't touch him. He's on fire. Shawn Baker is red hot as we go to the break. The lead is now 53 pins plus a ball for Shawn Baker as we head to the break. We're coming right back to Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire for Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNBS TV. Gary Carrington looking for his first mark of the second string, while Shawn Baker has put 4 marks on the board in 4 frames to open up a 53-plus pin lead. Gary Carrington has been there before. Thrives on the pressure. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see him make a run. Threw a good first ball, and he's got the 7-10.
It's much better ball than that, that's for sure, although he did do a skip lob again, which he's done a few times on lane 33.
He's decided which wood to play, the left wood or the right wood. Does it make a difference? Which one does he like better? Be interesting to see which one he chooses. He's trying the right one.
Split the difference.
And that's the shot that would have taken it. The way he did it, the way that pin came across, it would have taken the 10-pin.
Shawn Baker is 28 years of age, an electrician for Local 103, licensed electrician for John Penny Electric of Cambridge. Enjoys golf and softball. He and Carrie have been married about 3.5 years. Been on our show 14 times. I'll make it now, this is what, 3rd week in a row? Yeah, 3rd week in a row, 17 times.
Can Shawn make it 5 marks in a row? Yes.
He is a machine today. Wow. This could be a $3,000 a day for him, Dick.
Could very well be. Another head pin shot. Oh, you've got a split here.
And the first true challenge to the spare machine is this one right here, the 5 and the 10 with some wood right up against the lip of the lane at the edge of the plate.
Missed it. Try to play that wood. So his streak of marks ends at 5. And that's the shot he wanted to make.
Wow, 58-pin lead halfway through the match.
Gary Carrington now tries to come back. We mentioned last week the doubles tournament coming up at Lakeside Lanes in Manchester. It's the longest running doubles tournament. It's the 22nd annual Schaefer Mortgage Elimination Doubles Tournament. It's June 5th and 6th. Information can be downloaded on Lakeside's website, www.lakesidelanes.com. That's from Tim and Wendy Lipke of Lakeside Lanes in Manchester. Good luck to them with their tournament.
Make a shot.
Easter Sunday tournament, of course, coming up here at Leda Lanes before too long. That's a scratch tournament. 20 strings pays $5,000 for first prize.
Gary had a spare, then put only 5 in the spare, and then had another opportunity and left the pin standing, so he had to settle for a 10 box. He's at 88 through 8. Shawn's already at 101 through 6. Right on the head pin. Can he break up the split? He cannot. He's got the 4 and the 10. Piece of wood in the middle of the lane.
Might as well use it, huh?
Oh, yeah, you got to take a shot at it.
Because it's a tough cut shot. He means business today, doesn't he?
Does.
Whoa, he's so intense.
10 box.
Hasn't left the pin standing this string at all, and I'm not sure about last game. Did Shawn leave any pin standing?
First
yes.
string.
First
and
third
third
box. And an 8.
And an 8 box to start.
Wow. Yeah, this is 3 splits in a row now for Shawn Baker. But he's still managing to put 10s on the board. This will be a serious threat to this perfect game so far.
David's giving you a chance here. Come on, rise to the occasion, will you?
And that will be an 8 box. A couple of open frames, 3 in a row now for Shawn Baker, after starting out the string with 5 marks in a row. He has a 52-pin lead in the match, with 2 frames remaining in the second string. Gary is very capable of putting a run of marks together. We all know that.
Well, he was the New Hampshire State All Events winner in 2000 and 2001. Through the end of last year, 7 WCBC titles. He was the Pro Bowler of the Year in 93, 94.
Hold it up now, hold it up.
Yeah, Gary got a spare. It wasn't the way he had expected it would go, but it goes in the spare column nonetheless. Watch it. The 7-pin in the corner, the ball goes by it, a pin goes by it, and a pin comes off the right wall all the way across to trip it down. Will it go? It wobbles. It wobbles. The 8-pin still stands.
Certainly been in the Tournament of Champions many times. Including when he won it a couple years ago. It was a $3,000 payday for Gary Carrington.
Gary's finishing with a couple of marks. 4 marks in the string. He's at 117 plus a ball.
21-year-old son Matt is a junior at UNH Durham, hoping to be a journalism major. His 14-year-old son Mike is a 9th grader at Timberlane.
Gary puts 6 in the mark and a 123 second string for Gary Carrington. 2-string total of 277. Most bowlers would be ecstatic if they had 277 after 2 strings, and he's going to be trailing by a bunch. Shawn Baker. The strike machine does it again. On the Brooklyn side, the ball just powers through the pins. That's his 6th mark of the string. Shawn's doing a lot of dancing.
So he stays so thin. 28 years old, he's in great shape.
Missed the mark. Oh, Shawn doesn't believe it. Well, he hasn't missed too many, has he?
No, he has not. He really pins for good seeding in the Tournament of Champions.
That'll be a 10 box and a 148 second string for Shawn. A 2-string total. That's a 2-string total of 323 for Shawn Baker. To 277 for Gary Carrington. Shawn with a 46-pin lead. We're headed to string number 3 when we come back to Leda Lanes in Nashua for Candlepin Stars and Strikes. You're watching WNBS TV. Shawn Baker gets a nice warm round of applause as he steps to lane 34 at Leda Lanes. He has been just this side of sensational through the first 2 strings, a 175 first string, a 148 second string, 2-string total of 323, a 46-pin lead over Gary Babe Carrington. The winner advancing to the Tournament of Champions.
You realize he only needs 85 game to be the top seed in the Tournament of Champions if he wins. 85.
He's in pretty good shape, isn't he?
He's looking pretty good.
Now, his first 2 balls of this string, not representative of what he's done the first couple of strings.
You better get the calculator out to add up all the bonus money for this young fella by the end of today.
That's going to be a 5 box to start out for Shawn. Get that one out of his system.
He's allowed 1 bad box.
He missed the head pin there, and he's got the high-low jack, but there goes... Nope, I was going to say there goes the 7-pin, but it didn't hit it hard enough. So we talked a couple of times over the past couple of weeks about the high-low jack, the high-low jackpot, which used to be one of the features of the Channel 5 show. Shawn missed that one.
They would have a running jackpot where the bowlers would take a shot at that at the end of the game, and it would often get into the hundreds, even thousands of dollars.
And 8 box, so Shawn with 13 for his effort for the first 2 boxes of the 3rd string. Let's see if Gary Carrington can make a run at him.
Well, if I do a little math here, Shawn continues out at this rate, he'll only have a 65 gate.
That's not you bowling, or it's not
right. Not too likely either, is it? But a couple of marks here would certainly give Gary Carrington a nice jolt. Give him a couple 20 pins back, maybe.
So Gary starts off with a mark. We've seen it happen before. We've seen big leads evaporate in the 3rd string.
We've seen bigger leads than this evaporate in fewer boxes.
Right through the middle. Ouch. Straight through the middle. That's a 2-pin fill in the spare. It's the spread eagle with sleepers on both sides. You've got on the left side the 2, the 4, the 7, and the 8. On the right side, the 3, the 6, the 9, and the 10. The big opening in the middle. So Gary won't gain much.
No. 7 or 8, and that's about it.
He's going to take a 9 box, which is pretty good. So he'll have... He picks up 8 pins. The lead is now 38.
Are these the same 2 bowlers we've been watching? Somebody changed things on us?
If you're just joining us, Shawn Baker hit the triple strike jackpot for $675 at the end of the 1st string, and just for good measure, he added 1 more strike onto it for another $500 bonus on top of the $675 that was in the jackpot. So $1,175 in making 4 strikes in a row, and he's added to that with another $100 in bonus money, plus he'll get another $50 for having the high string in the match of 175, and Shawn missed the spare there.
Has he gone 3 boxes without a spare today?
Let me check. No. Yes, he had 3 in a row in the in the 2nd string.
Okay.
6, 7, and 8.
22 through 3.
It's a crazy game, Candlepin bowling. As hot as a bowler can be in one string, he can be ice cold in the next. A split here. He threw a good first ball, and look at the split.
This wood is not that great, by the way.
Double wood. It's a double wood situation. Well, I think it's not bad. If he hits the pin on the left, it could kick the wood into the pin, which is what he's trying to do. There it is.
You called it. Nice shot.
So that's a nice spare for Shawn. Breaks a streak of 3 open frames. And now here's Gary Carrington. Gary with a strike.
Well, he needs to put a bunch of them together,
Watch it
Dick.
again. Yep, sure does. He's hit the triple strike jackpot in the past, too, so it's not out of the question for him to put 3 together.
Well, he did it on the day that he won the Tournament of Champions. I think he did it for like $1,100.
It's tipping. It's going. So Gary will have a shot at the triple strike jackpot when we come back. We're going to the break with Shawn Baker leading Gary Carrington. The winner moves on to the Tournament of Champions. We continue from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. It's Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Shawn Baker ready to go, working on a spare. Gary Carrington's working on a double strike. Gary trying to climb back into the match. Shawn's trying to keep him at arm's length. The lead was what, 56 after 2 strings? Is that what it was?
Yes, it was.
Shawn missed the spare. Thought he had it, missed the spare.
I did a little checking here. Gary Carrington hit the triple strike jackpot for $1,300, May 13th, 2001.
George and Terry Gill from Hooksett, New Hampshire write just to tell you how much we enjoyed the tapings at Leda Lanes. Weather and health permitting, we try to make as many as we can. We also watch on WNDS on Saturdays and Sundays. It's fun and interesting to see such great bowlers like Shawn Baker, who just comes back after missing a spare with a very impressive strike. Marks like that will make it tough for Gary Carrington, but Gary's now looking at $500 in the bonus triple strike jackpot. Can we give more money away? This is for $500 for Gary Carrington. He threw it right at the head pin. Gave it a pretty good run.
And this is a pretty makeable spare, 3, 6, 7, and 10 with some wood between both sides of the lanes.
There it is. That's a $50 shot for Gary Carrington. He has $150 in bonus money.
And he's cut the lead roughly in half.
Up against a Shawn Baker strike now in the 6th frame. Threw a good ball. Oh, look at this.
Tough break, huh?
Make a shot, baby.
5 and 7, no wood. The object here is to slide the 5-pin into the 7-pin, which is not very easy.
Look at this!
Oh, he almost made it. What a great try by Gary Carrington. He will be open in the 6th frame against Shawn Baker's strike in the 6th. That's a 10 box for Gary Carrington, 95 through 6.
A surprisingly close match, Dick, considering what Shawn Baker's done today.
He leads by 10 plus a ball.
Plus a ball. 2 balls, actually.
2 balls in the strike. That's correct. So Shawn tries to build that lead up again. And that's how he does it with, oh, look at that. They went all around that 5-pin.
Hey, it was a blur to me. I don't know.
Man, oh, man.
Those pins fly.
Some went in front, some went behind, but nothing hit the 5-pin. But he's got a great here. And mark. Some breathing room for Shawn Baker. When he marks, there's not much Gary Carrington can do about it. Another spare opportunity.
Carrington is still in it, mathematically.
More bonus money here for Shawn. Played the wood and got the bonus money.
Whoever wins today will be the top seed in the Tournament of Champions. We can tell you that because Shawn Baker's got 420 plus a ball already, and 407 was the previous high. And even Carrington, if he wins, would be the Tournament of Champions leader. But boy, that's looking less likely here as we roll on.
Oh, that one got away from Gary. That's a half oyster on the left side. You can see him put his hands to his head as soon as the ball left his hand. Oh my goodness, he's saying to himself, what did I do?
Sure that's what he said?
Cleaned it up a little bit.
Well, our runner-up today gets $1,000, a winner $1,500, and punch their ticket to the Tournament of Champions. We'll have 5 bowlers by the end of today.
And that'll be a 9-box for Babe. He's at 104, up against another mark. The lead has been built back up by Shawn Baker. It was down to 10 pins and change. Gary threw a good ball. 4, 7, 8, no wood. Well, piece of wood to the right side of the 8-pin. Right on the 4 and right straight through. Well, that answers the question of how much space between the pins, and the answer is a lot more than you think.
Yes.
So Gary's at 113. The lead now is back up to 30 plus a ball for Shawn Baker with a couple of frames remaining. So Shawn is on cruise control right now. He's at 420 plus this ball right straight through the middle, 423.
Well, I was thinking that maybe we'd see a 500 triple today. Shawn would have needed a 177 string, but that is not in the cards. He had 323 through the first 2 games.
And a 10 box. He's at 110, 433. So we're looking at a 440 triple, 450 with a mark.
That will be tough to beat next time around.
I guess the heck.
Next ladder starts next week with 5 new bowlers, all hoping to be the 6th and final entry into the Tournament of Champions.
Shawn right on the head pin. He has been a machine on the head pin. Hasn't missed it very often. And they're rooting for that pin to roll by and go all the way off into the gutter, and it does. Shawn will close with a mark. He is at 443 plus a ball. Wow. Isn't that something? Boggles the mind. $128, third string, 3-string total, $451 for Shawn Baker. And a big payday.
Yeah, don't forget to add in the high string as well.
I'll add it all in.
Figure it all up for him, make the presentation here in a couple of minutes.
Gary Carrington to finish up. Gary's going to have 400 and get whipped. It's amazing. $10 box. He's at 123. He is at 400 even right now. And a strike. No, that's what they're rooting for. You hear in the background, rooting for him to put a couple more together. Watch it again. As Gary throws a good ball in the 10th frame.
Listen to this. Last time he was on and he lost to Jeff Surratt, he was beaten 438 to 421. He's going to have roughly that again today. He's going to have 420 if he can make the spare here.
He's at 416 now. There it is. 143 third string for Gary Carrington, a 420 triple, and he loses by 31 pins to Shawn Baker's 451. We'll come back to divvy up the prize money when we return to Leda Lanes right after this on WNDS TV's Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Well, we've seen some great bowling, haven't we, over the past couple of weeks. 451 for Shawn Baker to 420 for Gary Carrington. And Gary Carrington's here. First of all, $1,000 runner-up money. We have some bonus money as well for you. I believe it was $150 in bonus money. You've been there before with the triple strike and the jackpot and the excitement, and I know Shawn's a friend of yours. It had to be an exciting moment for you, too.
Yeah, it's pretty good, pretty good. Shawn is an awesome bowler, awesome. You know, he's big time. Just like Jeff Surratt last time I bowled here. They both bowl on my world team, and well, that's why I got them on my team, because they can do stuff like that.
And they were great, and you're great, and we'll look forward to seeing you again, too. Gary Carrington, our runner-up here this afternoon. $1,000 and the $150 in bonus money, and now it'll be Shawn Baker. We'll do the bonus ball contest. First of all, Mike will pull a card out of the bin, and we'll try to give away some money. It's $20 we have in the bin this time. This is Alice Tarleson of Lawrence, Massachusetts. And Shawn, all she wants you to do is get a strike.
He did that last week, didn't he?
He did that last week when we wanted a 7, but this is a 10. We want a 10, a strike. Can we get a strike? Not going to happen. A consolation prize from N&R Trophies. Is it going to go? Does it have a shot? Not going to get there. The consolation prize from N&R Trophies in Winchendon, Massachusetts for Alice Tarleson of Lawrence, Massachusetts. $1,500 to win the match. We have bonus money totaling $1,375 with bonus money from the prior couple of weeks. I get a grand total of $3,075 for Shawn Baker. Here's the check. That's pretty decent payday.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
How exciting is it to be up there when you got the 3 strikes and you're going for number 4?
Well, it's always nice to have the chance, but at the time I was down quite a few pins, so I'm just trying to actually get back in the match. And, you know, fortunate for me, it came together that way.
451, that gives you the number 1 seeding in the Tournament of Champions with 1 more ladder series to go, so you're sitting pretty good.
Yeah, that's nice feeling.
Shawn, thanks very much. Congratulations to you.
See you in a month.
Shawn Baker, our winner here this afternoon, and some great bowling.
Indeed. So Shawn Baker, as you mentioned, Dick, is the number 1 seed, followed by Jeff Surratt, Rich Lottie, Dave Hodge, and John Winchell. We have 1 more bowler yet to put in there.
And we'll look for that next week. We start our new ladder series, our final ladder series of the season next week. We'll look for you as well. For Mike Morin and our entire crew, I'm Dick Lutsk at Lido Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Candlepin Stars and Stripes. Get everybody together, and let's go bowling.